Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower.
I'm Captain Mao.
And I'm Weapon 2. I'm so fresh and so clean. Tonight we're talking about Snick Wolverine.
That was excellent. I really like that. Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. Well played. Thank you for joining us on, what are we, 26? Episode 26? 26 of the world's greatest podcast. We are joined by another special guest, a returning fan favorite. Sir, introduce yourself.
I am B Banner.
B Banner,
Yes.
Welcome back to the show.
You. Glad to be back.
Facebook admin, B Banner.
Cheers.
Excited to have you back, sir. Long time coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome back.
And it was your suggestion to do a top 5 Wolverine moments countdown, right?
Yeah.
Across all media, just so we're
Yeah,
clear.
it doesn't matter. Animated series, comic, MCU, and whatever you thought was like wow for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to include that time I was 7 in a Wolverine Halloween costume running around with my hands like this. Because that's top 10 for me.
Moment.
That was great for me.
This is a good moment.
Except I didn't know this until last time I went back home. My cousin told me that costume was like 2 sizes too small for me.
And wasn't even
And
Wolverine.
it was Wolverine, but it didn't fit. And like, I was so happy nobody had the heart to tell me that it didn't fit.
You got it at the dollar store. It was Wolverine.
I mean, we did get it. That's like I didn't even realize I was eating knockoff Cocoa Pebbles my whole life. I grew up poor. Anyway, we're going to do that. We'll do this or that's a close. But first, we're going to start with a little bit of news. So last week, DC Fandom happened. Was an online event where they had a bunch of panels, released a bunch of trailers. I'm sure you guys saw. We shared a lot of the stuff on the page. One of the bigger things that was shown was the first kind of teaser trailer to the Snyder Cut's Justice League, which was announced that will be a 4-part series on HBO Max. By the way, you probably have HBO Max and don't know it. If you have HBO through Hulu, as I do, apparently you have HBO Max. I had it this whole fucking time. Didn't know that. I just had to sign in with my Hulu account. So
if you have Hulu, you have HBO Max.
If you have like the HBO add-on through Hulu, then you can download HBO Max, the app, sign in with your Hulu info, and bam, you got it.
Guess
HBO
what?
Max.
Can't even get HBO Max. You know why? Because it's not on Roku and it's not on.
That's right.
We have like Fire Strip too. We got those two things, and it's not on either one of those.
Wait, you
app.
can't get it on Roku?
No, you can't get it on Roku.
The app's not there.
No,
It's not there
this was
yet, they say.
This was a big story that they didn't get Roku because of some contractual issue or whatever the hell. Which that's like I think one of the largest streaming devices for any people.
Yeah.
So
I'm burnt.
Yeah.
And you know
Me
what
too,
that
then,
means? That
apparently,
means you're burnt because I'm not going to use somebody else's login to use it now. So there.
Guess I'll be the only one watching the Snyder Cut. But what did you guys think of the trailer that was shown? B-Banner? What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. It's going to be 4 hours long?
Yes.
So I guess I didn't catch it's going to be 4 episodes?
4 1-hour episodes, yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes it a lot more interesting and makes me want to watch. I wasn't interested in watching a 4 or 5 hour long movie.
Right. That's a lot in one sitting.
But the fact that they broke it up in 3-4 episodes, that looks good. Yeah. I mean,
You know what's nice? Even if it was a 4-hour movie, you could break it up yourself. I'm watching an hour now. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow.
Well, and people binge watch episodes of shows, so I don't know. I think it looked fine. It was clearly a lot of footage that was cut out of the original movie. Lots of scenes that we saw in previous trailers were in this. They opened with Darkseid, which cool, but am I the only one that thought that CGI looked terrible?
Was that scene originally in the?
Yes, that was the shot of Steppenwolf doing the exact same thing. So it's just they're
That's
just
what
transplanting him.
I was like, I don't really like that.
Yeah, and did he look okay? Because I thought he looked terrible.
I thought that he looked a little rough. Okay. Yes,
I'm not going to totally judge it because they have plenty of time to touch up the CGI.
I feel like we're getting a bait and switch. I feel like they just keep showing us the same stuff over and over, trying to pretend it's new.
And it didn't. Okay, and to be honest, like it didn't look all that much different. Like I'm sure it'll be totally. It's 4 hours. It's the original, his original story. I'm sure it'll be different. I'm sure it'll be better. It kind of like aside from, I thought tonally, obviously, it felt way darker and bleaker, way more
What was
Snyder.
the song they were playing in that thing?
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Great choice. Great choice.
That was an interesting choice
good.
for that. Yeah.
And all the slow-mo shots,
Yeah.
total Snyder. Like, he was just like, you will not see Whedon anywhere in this trailer. He just struck him from the record. So I'm sure it looked like a Snyder movie to me, but I'm just like, it wasn't enough for me to be like, now it's definitely going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. And maybe they're holding back stuff so that you're super, like, surprised. I don't know.
Well, and I think they still got a lot of stuff to shoot again. I think they're getting everyone back together and stuff. So this is just, I think they just had to throw something together for this event.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. I'm excited to see where it goes.
I don't think the Snyder Cut's real.
You're not a believer?
Facade. I don't think it really exists.
I just think, like, obviously Darkseid's not going to be the antagonist. It's still Steppenwolf. So, like, you're just going to put him in there for the sake of fan service, which is fine, but at least make him look cool then. Steppenwolf did look better, though, I thought.
Yeah, did he in the first movie? Did he have all that metal armor stuff?
No,
that came down?
he had, like,
that
armor.
part looked cool to me.
He
That
had-
kind of just folded out and stuff like that.
So he looked
terminated out a little bit.
So he looked like he was a part of the Mother Box, which
Yeah.
in that deleted scene from BVS is exactly what he looked like. In the regular version of the movie, it just looks like a dude in armor and he has like a white face. Like, he looks way cooler in this.
He does.
Right?
A lot cooler. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the Snyder Cut. Not a whole lot of more information given other than that. Looks neat. The trailer is well cut. It's edited well to the music and all that. So I think it looks exciting. So
Sure.
we'll see. The other big trailer, Wonder Woman 84 had a second trailer.
Yes.
The big thing with that is it actually showed Cheetah in her final form. And I'm going to officially go on record
awesome.
to say it's kind of changing my mind. I've been talking a lot of shit this whole time, and it's only because, as I've said before, that first trailer didn't do a lot for me.
Because you don't like the 80s?
No, it leaned into the 80s nostalgia too hard, and it felt cheap to me.
Because you don't like them, it still made you feel,
Felt
yes.
too cheap to me. But this one, it didn't.
And you
it
were wrong
it
then,
didn't go
and you're
completely
getting more
80s.
right now.
It actually showed more of the story. My reservation with Steve Trevor is still there.
With his fanny pack?
That was funny. Cheetah actually looked good, though. I
Yes.
thought she looked cool.
Yes.
She looked comic accurate. It looked scary. I'm more excited for this movie now. I still have my reservations. I still want it to be good, but I'm more excited.
I
what do you
just
think?
I just hope that transformation isn't like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
You know that's what it is, though. That's exactly what it is. That was clearly the climax of the
Because
movie.
that's gonna.
That's all it is.
irritated.
Oh, Captain Mal, we have your reservations right here. Walk this way.
Come to the upper deck. Well, you'll see that you were right, sir. No, but that's exactly. I can almost promise you that that's probably what that is going to be. She's going to be acting all twitchy and tweaky the entire movie, and then she's going to transform at the very end.
Yeah.
But you know what? As long as the fight's cool, you know.
Yeah,
like,
the final fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't want her to do nothing the whole movie, and then in the last 10 minutes, they finally engage in confrontation.
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to be a little...
But then there would have to be another like central antagonist, which they're not really showing. But they didn't.
There is that the guy. What's his face? Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy in this too.
The dude who played Oberyn Martell. He's a main
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, B Banner. That's exactly what's gonna happen. She's gonna show. I didn't even put that together. So, whatever. My biggest thing though is like, how the hell is Chris Pine back? They better have a good excuse for that. And even if it is a good excuse,
Reasons.
Sure. But
Okay.
even the best reasons, it undercuts his sacrifice in the first movie, which was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Well, we'll see how it goes.
This is comic books. Who stays dead?
Peter or Uncle Ben and Bruce Wayne's parents.
That's
They're the
it.
only ones who
That's
stay
it.
dead.
Yeah.
But sure, you know what? I'm gonna allow myself to be excited. I'm gonna turn off the jaded switch.
Yeah.
And I'm just you know what? Just be excited. I hope it's good.
I'm definitely watching it.
Well, yeah, no, I'll talk all the shit in the world, and I'm still gonna watch it
for sure.
They had me at 80s nostalgia.
That's the problem. Like you were
just played an 80s soundtrack.
I'm in.
That's all it took. That's so cheap.
Parachute pants? Does everybody parachute?
That was pretty funny. I'll give it that. That was funny. All right. I like how it's the reverse fish out of water story now with him being the one who doesn't know anything in the world. So that's cool. That's clever. We'll see. We'll see. I want to be happy. Okay, another trailer kind of that came out. It wasn't really a trailer. It was kind of like introduced the characters, and then there was a behind-the-scenes featurette that showed some stuff. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. You know they're taking this shit seriously this time because "the" is in the title.
Yes.
So,
and he says it's the best thing he's ever made.
that's nonsense. That is him
That's
just
what he said.
that is him just selling
People
the
are
movie.
just really harping. Like, that's the selling. It's because that quote, they're trying to sell the
Who
movie for that.
who in their right mind would be like, "Oh, this is clearly the 5th best movie I've ever made. Please go watch it."
Yeah.
No one's going to say that.
You know
Whatever
what
they're
you say?
currently
You don't
doing
say
is the
that, but you
Thank
don't.
you.
Yeah.
You don't say it's the best thing you've ever
Okay,
done.
fine, whatever.
That's a bold statement.
But what did we think of the footage we saw and of the movie in general, all that?
I thought it was kind of really colorful and cheesy, kind of, but that's kind of that's
the vibe they're going for.
That's Guardians of the Galaxy. That's that thing. So he's done that well in things. So.
He's also done the ensemble cast very well.
And when I say that for me that isn't me saying, oh, this is going to be bad. That's just my description of what's there, and he's done that stuff well in the past. So I don't know.
Banner?
Didn't they change one of? Was it Deadshot?
Yeah, Deadshot's not in it.
There's a guy named
Idris Elba.
Blood something.
Yeah,
Blood,
they Deadshot's not in it.
Deadshot's
And
not.
He's like
somebody
something
else
blood or
that's,
blood.
that's playing it.
Idris Elba's
Is
in
that a
Yeah.
DC character or is that?
Yeah.
something
It is
that
it
they-
is. Yeah, it is a DC character. He's a really unknown character, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a picture of him in the comic books, and I went,
Blood
I don't really know.
Sports.
Bloodsport.
Coincidentally, one of my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Yeah, and you see him. He's got like a bandana tied around the top of his. He's not
Yeah.
like a character that I really recognize.
But in that like character little teaser trailer they did, they had like the gun effects with him and all that. So it would be easy for people to confuse him for just a recast of
Yeah, that's
Deadshot. But the cast looks fantastic. I want to say Margot Robbie's outfit looks great. She looks straight out of the Arkham video games. Like finally, as opposed to how terrible I thought she looked in Birds of Prey, she looks really good in this movie. I think so you posted on the Facebook page Weapon 2, what does everybody think of this? And there is a lot of negative.
Right.
I'm kind of excited for this. I think it will be better than the first Suicide Squad because I think it will be like an actual one person's vision of these characters. I think he does the ensemble cast good. I think it's going to be big, dumb, over the top fun action, which is all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be some super deep character drama. It just needs to be fun, not tonally all over the place.
Yeah.
And as long as it's like the bare minimum of what would make a good structural movie and it's fun, which is all I wanted from the first Suicide Squad, which is what part of that movie was, the parts that were good. If it's that, just a little bit better, I'll be happy. I don't need the world. I just need it to be good.
What do you think, B Banner?
I'm in agreement. I mean, the first Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, they don't leave a lot to be desired for another movie. So I'm going to just hold my expectations high because they're already low. So I'm just from the other movies.
I think
it can only get better.
I think everyone's going to love this because everybody's expectations are so low.
Yeah.
Which I will say is, I defend a lot of parts of Suicide Squad because I think there's a good movie buried in there. Birds of Prey was
not
garbage,
bad.
though.
It's
Birds of
not-
Prey is garbage.
yeah.
I could watch Suicide Squad and enjoy it.
I can put Suicide Squad on and do the dishes and stop for a minute. Birds of Prey, I'm like, I'll change the channel.
I'll change. You will have to physically restrain me, duct tape my eyes open, and make me watch that again.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's just can't wait for something new to come out. I mean, we've had nothing for a long time.
Yes.
So about anything could come out and we're going to go, awesome, something to watch. Also, spoiler alert, I'm always excited about stuff. I'm let down sometimes by DC, but I am always hoping for the best, excited for what's next. Sometimes I'm not happy.
Sometimes you're not rewarded for your excitement.
I'm still thinking positive and hoping for the best. I can't wait to see it.
So I do have a question. There's one character I don't recognize at all, and it's the guy with looks like bingo stamps all over him.
Wasn't it Polka Dot Man?
Polka Dot
Man.
I don't know.
That's a
throws dots at people, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's
What does he do?
that's a Batman
Google,
character.
Google Polka Dot Man. I think he just throws dots. He's like Arm Fall Off Boy or something like that.
I didn't know if it was like a new.
Have you ever heard of Arm Fall Off Boy?
Just a movie-related character, or if he's in the
No, he's in the comics.
It's a real comic book guy.
All right.
Polka Dot Man, DC.
He was like wearing
Yeah,
pajamas.
look it. That's
Okay.
like they nailed it. That is exactly. This is legit from the comics. Yeah. Oh, and that guy's a good actor too. David. I can't pronounce that.
Yep. Go ahead.
We're not.
You're
Yeah.
not even.
Weapon 2, go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's David Dashmalikian.
There we go.
That's Malakian.
I don't think that's how that is at all.
Exactly how it is said.
Yeah, primary enemy of Batman, belonging to collective adversaries in Batman's Rogues Gallery. Can turn polka dot coverings in his costume into a variety of devices.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's
See?
I remember him throwing them at people kind
Yes.
of vividly.
Okay.
I like that they're just taking ridiculous characters. Like, who in the hell would have thought Polka Dot Man is going to be in a movie?
Not me, because I don't know who he is.
I love them taking characters that are obscure that nobody knows and making them funny and cool.
Yeah.
I love unknown characters
Dude.
coming in and you're going, man, these are awesome.
Before Guardians, nobody knew who Rocket Raccoon was.
Yeah.
They took a raccoon with a machine gun and made him everybody's favorite character.
Yes,
Right.
that is my daughter's favorite Marvel character.
So I'm not saying Polka Dot Man's going to be her number 2.
Yeah.
I'm just
And,
saying
and she hates raccoons, but she likes Rocket Raccoon.
somewhere
There you go.
Hailstorm is rolling over.
They made
She got
raccoons
slapped
cool
in the
again.
face, and she doesn't
Yes.
know why.
Yes. She'll find out.
To her defense, there were some raccoons trying to get in our screen door at one point.
Well, that'll
She was
freak you
little.
out.
Yeah, I think she's scarred for life now, but she loves Rocket Raccoon.
There you go.
There you go, because that's a nice raccoon.
Yeah,
that only
that's
does,
a nice
that
raccoon.
only
I
does
don't know
bad
if he's
things once in a
nice.
while.
He's not.
But
that
he's
bad.
just a scoundrel. He's not evil.
Yeah,
He's not evil. That's true.
He's got a good heart.
Let's see. So what else came out? So Dwayne the Rock Johnson,
And his whole family.
and well, not that yet. We'll get
Oh,
there.
sorry.
They released a little thing about Black Adam. A
Yes.
little animated thing kind of going over the history that he narrated, which, by the way, like Morgan Freeman, I just want The Rock to tell stories about my life. He's
Yeah.
a good narrator. But if you don't know anything about Black Adam, because a lot of people probably might not,
It
gives you
doesn't
his
look
history.
like they've shown much. They haven't done much of anything
They
with this
haven't done-
movie.
No, they
because
haven't
they
done
didn't have anything
No.
to show.
That's
They
why
haven't
they
done
just
anything, yeah.
That's why they just showed that kind of to introduce people to the character. They didn't even give us him in like a costume or anything. They haven't done anything.
If another director somewhere else had made a Black Adam movie, they could show us parts of that movie.
CGI The Rock in it, and then call it the Snyder Cut.
If we're just living in a world where the possibility of The Rock as Black Adam fighting Henry Cavill's Superman might happen,
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
and that makes me very excited.
Yes.
Best.
Black Adam is a cool character. I'm
Yep.
excited for that. I wish they had something to show us, but they don't. But how do you guys feel about him playing the character?
I'm perfectly
Awesome.
okay. I think it's a perfect fit. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
The best.
Yeah.
I think that's all the DC fandom stuff. Oh no, the Batman trailer came out.
Looks good.
What do you think?
I think it looks really good. The trailer reminded. Have you seen the movie Seven?
Yeah.
How
What's in the box?
Yes.
Yeah.
How dark
Yeah.
and like gloomy and I don't. It's like serial killer esque. It was really good to me. It looked really good to me. I'm excited for it. I was not before, and now I am. So
Yes. Before that, I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to wait and see. But the tone and the look and the soundtrack,
Yeah.
everything
That song
about
is really good.
Everything about that was cool. I mean, even Pattinson, who I was like, how in the world are they going to make this guy a good Batman? I was like, this looks like some crazy, unhinged, barely. Who is this guy? A good guy or a bad guy type Batman? I could get into that for reals.
for sure.
I have one issue with it. I saw before, like you, Banner, not on board at all.
Yeah.
Right. I was a little bit more on board when they said it's its own separate universe. That's fine. But yeah, you're right. The tone was great. Very like Joker vibes in terms of like how the city was portrayed as this dark, dirty, like terrible place you wouldn't want to live. Total 7 vibes. Didn't even
Gotham?
think about that.
Isn't
Yeah.
it- isn't
Well,
it kind of what Gotham
that's-
always is?
Yes, but they've used Chicago for Gotham before, and it just looks like
Yeah.
a city. This actually feels like what Gotham should feel like to me.
Yeah.
And that's cool. You're right. The Riddler being like a serial killer
Yeah.
working with the cops, brilliance. Like that's amazing. How do you make like a kooky character that could be cheesy, just horrifying? That's great. Batman himself, the suit, I'm kind of about, but he moved good. The shot of him beating the dude's ass was good. Even
What
when
do you wish the suit looked like?
I liked Affleck's suit. It looks right out the comic book.
Yeah, he's not going to be
No,
Affleck.
I know,
though.
and that's why
So,
like I'm fine. I'm saying it's
Yeah.
just not my favorite suit design. It looks
I get you.
good. It's
All
just
right.
not my favorite suit design.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a little scrawny guy.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
fine.
got to figure this out.
How
But
to
I'm just
make it look better. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it looks
just
more
saying,
like armor and stuff.
if he just looks, he just looks crazy. Everything looks crazy.
It looked good. It's just not my favorite.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm just trying to say.
Gotcha.
But the only thing, I'm on board for the unhinged, crazy kind of
Yeah.
Batman, because if anyone's read The Dark Knight Returns knows he's fucked up. Like he's not a normal person. The only thing I didn't quite like is Pattinson, like when he was showing out of the costume, not because he was scrawny or little or anything like that, but we've talked about before, Bruce Wayne is the mask. Batman is who he really is. Bruce Wayne is a persona that he switches on, that he plays in front of everybody, who pretends to be this billionaire playboy. The point is, you're supposed to meet Bruce Wayne, think he's just some drunken rich dick, and would never be Batman, right? You look at Pattinson and you're just like, oh yeah, he's totally Batman. That guy's fucked up. Like, look at him. He's totally Batman.
That's vigilante right there.
Right. Dude, he's right there.
Because he's still Batman. He just took the mask off. He hasn't changed into his tuxedo and his smoking jacket yet.
That's my you know what though?
He hasn't poured a bourbon on the rocks or anything yet.
But I am way more positive on the movie now. I liked what I saw. The song freaking was amazing.
Yeah,
totally. Like when they did the logo there at the end and it was playing, the whole vibe. Like I literally was just like, this might be the Batman movie I've always kind of wanted. So I'm on board. The other big announcement is that fucking multiverse. Exactly what we talked about on the last podcast is happening. Be better. What do you think of that?
It's a lot to take in. I was thinking about it on the way here. Like, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm like, man, there's so much I can't keep up. And I'm like, why am I complaining? Like, before there was nothing.
We're in the golden era now.
Nothing, and now it's like there's a barrage with everything. It's hard to keep up. I'm excited for it to see how they're gonna. The multiverse and create. I don't know if they're going to create a streamline with all that or just have them come together and then separate. I'm interested to see how they do that.
You know, I just hope they have this multiverse that anytime they wanted to, for any reason, they could bring people together or just never. And just in multiverse, this dude just never has gone to see anybody else.
Well, and that's so if they're going off what the Arrowverse did, which that's how they introduced it. They showed Ezra Miller's Flash. Like that's what kind of showed that everything's connected. And we said it when that happened that that's your get out of jail free card, DCEU. That's there you go. And it seems like that's what they're doing, which that would mean there could be Earths where nobody's heard of the multiverse and nobody knows there's other worlds out there and like there's different timelines and stuff happening versus there are Earths where people know the technology that travel back and forth as they want, which that allows you, like you said, all these story ideas
to do anything
you want. And they showed concept art of Ezra Miller's Flash with Keaton's Batman like behind him ready to fight. Oh my God! Like little Mal's brain exploded. Like because that is like my childhood Batman. Yeah. The only thing better would have been if Kevin Conroy over there somehow, you know. But
I'm just wondering if they're gonna eliminate certain timelines to streamline it, or if they're just gonna leave all of that. I
think what they're gonna do. This is my theory. I think they're gonna have the DCEU timeline is like their main kind of canon moving forward, especially if the Snyder Cut's successful. And then I think everything else is just gonna be individual Earths, individual timelines, or whatever that they could do together or separate or however they want to do. I don't think they're gonna like merge or eliminate anything. I think they're gonna say anything they've ever put out movie TV wise happened somewhere.
Just different timelines.
Just different timelines, different Earths. Which, as a comic book guy, like I can get behind. That's Earth 2. That's Earth 30. That's Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I hope they do it anyway. But they haven't been exactly clear as to the way it works.
Yeah.
I think Flash's movie though is gonna be the explanation for it.
Yeah. I agree, and I'm excited for that. Just to get some sort of idea on what their plan is.
You want to know, like you want to know, you want to know how it works.
Yeah.
You want to know the structure.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just you showed me Keaton in the bat suit and I lost it. Like all my logic just went gone. I don't even care anymore. It just looks amazing.
But like B. Banner said, isn't it nice to be going, man, there's so much cool stuff. I just can't see all the cool stuff there is. Rather than going,
we're spoiled.
There's nothing cool.
We're so spoiled.
I wish I had some cool stuff to watch.
Started out as a complaint in my head, and then I was like, what are you talking about?
And then like you from 15 years ago wants to show up and slap you.
No,
like, be thankful.
You know that's like saying, I have so much money, I just don't have enough things to spend it on.
I came to that realization. I'm just saying that original thought, that's what it was, and I came to the realization that we are blessed to have all this stuff.
Yeah.
We are very, very lucky. We live in the golden age of nerd right now.
We
man.
have
we
enough
really
stuff to where we can say, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Before it was like, if something came out, you just liked it because it was.
Because it was the only thing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you can see something that's actually pretty good and go, I don't like that. As opposed to just trying to find something in all the things that aren't good.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
is this like even a little bit good?
Yes.
Should I even like this thing? It's
Honestly,
not good.
Like, I had to pretty much stop watching the Arrowverse because there was too many shows and too much to keep up with. And I was like, they're making another show, Superman. I can't watch all this. Spoiled.
Because superhero stuff in the 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s sucked.
Yeah, if they would have showed you Suicide Squad back then, you would have been like, oh my god, it's amazing.
The best thing ever. Yeah.
I remember loving X-Men, the first X-Men.
Yeah, I remember the first two were really good.
When the animated series came out, I was like, oh my god, I get to see them moving, doing their thing instead of just,
It wasn't.
I enjoy comics, but to see
It's different,
it's
yeah.
different. And then, that was.
That
And
90s
now-
series was my introduction to X-Men. That was...
Oh, yeah?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't until Blade and the Spider-Man movies and X-Men started coming out that there was anything even close to good that came out.
Yes.
Before that, everything was horrible.
By the way, I had Alias watch Blade because she had never seen any of them.
Yeah?
That movie holds up, by the way.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good
it's a
movie.
good movie.
The
It
first
is.
one,
it is
definitely
a good
still
movie.
holds up.
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. so good. All right, I think that's pretty much all the DC Fandom stuff that came out. Well, the big news anyway, the big movie related stuff. Let us know in the comments what movie you're most excited for. What else were we talking about in terms of the news? Chadwick Boseman.
Oh.
Weapon 2.
Oh, my goodness. So, oh, my goodness.
I didn't know that he had cancer.
Nobody did. He was
Nobody
doing it
kept
secretly.
secret.
Yeah,
That dude
And-
went on interviews and went through
Never
and
said
did
anything.
tons of movies
Yeah.
and never, ever mentioned it to anybody.
Yeah.
Kept it on the down low. Just, he's visiting other kids with
I know.
cancer.
Dude, that
And
was-
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. When I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna. Try and have my allergies.
No,
Yeah.
dude, no, I got teary eyed too, and I'm jaded. And
I'm like, that guy is a good dude.
right?
He started losing weight, and people were like,
Calling him Crack Panther.
yeah, we're like saying, oh, what's he doing, losing weight for a role? And then they started calling him names, saying he's on drugs. Dude was never even
was
on
dying.
trying to
He
say, hey, I'm dying. He was just letting it roll off his back.
And he's like, yeah.
man,
the
jeez.
the integrity that guy has, like the way he could just not get online and defend himself because it's
Yeah.
not worth it. Like,
And
oh god.
And I was watching some interviews that hit so close to home afterwards. I can't remember if it was Larry King or somebody asked him if he could have anything, what would his superpower be? And he said to stop time. So now,
Oh my God,
So now,
perspective.
in retrospect, you're like, oh my God.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Chadwick Boseman, the actor who most famously is known for Black Panther, but he's been in a bunch of other movies, passed away of colon cancer. Apparently, he had been fighting it for 4 years and didn't tell anybody publicly, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're talking about.
It made me going. My doctor's been bugging me for 2 years to get my colon cancer test. I mean, a simple thing. I just got to send some stuff from home, and I've been putting it off. As soon as that happened, I went, I'm turning my stuff in.
Well, here's the thing that's shocking to me is like, one, yes, he was so young, but like phenomenal shape. He was in superhero shape, so he took care of himself, and he's got the money for the best treatment you could afford, and it still got him. Like that could literally get anybody, and it's really sad. And obviously, like our condolences and all that go out to the family. And the important story is like a human being died, and by all accounts, a pretty good person, right, died.
Really
and,
good dude.
and that's sad.
Yeah.
But the question is, what the hell do you do if you are Disney in the MCU?
Yeah.
Black Panther 2 should have been filming already if it wasn't for the coronavirus. So they're not filming it, but Black Panther 1 made 1.3 billion, not only being like a really good movie, but it was a cultural phenomenon because it gave representation to a group of people that didn't have it at that level, at that scale ever, really.
Right,
so it really deserved all the praise that it got, despite it, in my opinion, not being like the best Marvel movie, but a very good movie that
It was good.
It was worth the hype, I think.
Right.
It wasn't the best, but it was one of the better ones.
It was worth watching.
It was a really
very good movie.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I think he was even better in Civil War. I think he was great in Infinity War. Wasn't in Endgame very much, but that's the thing. Had cancer this entire time. It was just being really good in these roles. And other roles that he was into, he wasn't just Black Panther. But they were setting Black Panther up, especially after Endgame and some of the veterans were going to be leaving, for like him and Captain Marvel and some others to be the new cornerstones of their universe. what do you do now?
Yeah.
Do you recast Black Panther?
I mean,
you can't, right?
I saw some things mentioned having Suri come in.
I wouldn't
Yes.
be.
But I'm not.
Well, here's.
I would like. That's not what I would like.
Well,
she
in the
has her role, and I
Yeah.
like her in her role. I don't want her to.
Well, in the comic book, she was Black Panther. She wore the mantle for a while, so she was Black Panther for periods of time. But as far as T'Challa, here's the thing: if you got an actor who decided he didn't want to be the character anymore, or whatever, you could look at recasting. Under these circumstances, absolutely not.
No.
You never can. No. It's like retiring a jersey. You retire this character.
Good analogy.
You give it you give it the respect it deserves as a character. I mean, because of in respect to him, and what
he meant to an entire group of people.
And then you just figure out what you can do with. I mean, you can still have Wakanda. You can still have whatever you want to do within the universe.
But what do you do? What do you do? You can't film anything of him leaving. You have to come up with a story of something that happened off camera.
That's where the genius of storytellers who could give it the respect and make it just seem like it as natural as possible as part of the story. You just do that if you're a good story.
So we're all agreed, don't recast.
Right.
No.
That would be a terrible idea.
I feel like, the easy answer is Suri putting the suit. I feel like that's what most people would be on board with. They her. And
what Weapon 2 said, just temporary replacement until somebody steps up from Wakanda. I don't know if anybody else.
Has anyone other than T'Challa taken up the mantle other than her?
Just her. That's the only one I remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never really
That's gonna be hard.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, well, really curious.
It's a bummer.
I don't get paid enough to figure it out.
That's why we're not writers for a multi-billion-dollar franchise, because we don't know what to do.
I'll tell you what, if I didn't have anything else to do but sit in a writer's room with maybe some other writers and come up with ideas, I could probably help come up with a great idea.
I think you could.
Hollywood, if you want to.
With a bunch of words and strings attached and things. And
I'd give it a whirl.
Like that.
You got to give it the old college try.
And it wouldn't be horrible, I'll tell you that. It might not be the best, but it wouldn't be horrible.
But officially added to the list of why 2020 sucked. But, okay, transition to a little bit of normalcy trying to come back. Nolan and Warner Brothers held to their word, and come hell or high water, they released Tenant in theaters. I believe in North America, it just got released, so there's no official numbers yet. But worldwide, it grossed $53 million, which... a lot more money than I thought it would, especially given the limited capacities of theaters, the limited showtimes, all that. I do believe a movie like this worldwide, not even including North America, would probably have made a lot more money than that under normal circumstances.
Would it? I mean, because there isn't a lot out, so maybe a lot of people are viewing that because there's not many options. True,
but if you look at... So Nolan's one of those guys, one of those directors that people just go watch his movies because he's attached to it.
That's why I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I loved Inception. I'm going to go see that
Inception. Anything Nolan makes, I'm going to go watch, regardless of whether I think it looks good or not, because he knows how to tell an amazing visual story. Yeah. So I feel like this is a movie that worldwide probably would, in America alone, probably would have made 50 to 60 million.
Sure.
So I think it would have broke 150 to 200 million worldwide opening easy, I think. But you're right. There's nothing else out, so maybe it did do, representative numbers of what it might have normally. But are we surprised at this number? And more importantly, are you guys going to go watch Tenet?
I'm definitely going to watch it. Oh yeah,
I'm going to go watch it.
You're going to go to the theater and watch it.
I'm going to go to the theater.
That's the question.
I'm going to the theater to watch it.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of screen you need to watch this movie on.
Yes.
I don't know whether to be surprised or not surprised with numbers because we don't know. We can't compare these numbers to anything. It's like him. Is it the only movie in the theaters? Well, yeah, of course. Then a lot of people would go see this movie because there's nothing else.
Because they just want to go.
Yeah, so who knows how to compare the numbers or be surprised with the numbers. Yeah. I know I want to go see the movie in theaters. So
yeah, good point. This as we've talked about before, anything Nolan makes is something you need a theatrical experience.
Yeah.
You need to see this probably on the biggest screen you could find. Go to an IMAX or whatever. I don't even know if they're open right now, but yeah, biggest screen you can find. Watch it. I'm gonna go to theaters where we should review it. So I think we've talked about it already.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certain movies like Bill and Ted that you can watch at home and it's fine. You don't need a theater for that. But this movie you totally do.
Yeah, and me personally watching movies at home, there's too many distractions for that type of movie.
Because you don't want. Yes, you want.
If I was to watch Inception for the first time at home, I have no idea what's going on. Okay, I watched it in the theater, and I'm able to focus and watch a movie. But at home, you kids and pause the movie, you come back, what was going on? It just doesn't work.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so I think we're all going to go see Tenant hopefully soon, and try to pop a review out. But yeah, so that is out in theaters. They held to their guns. They did not push that back anymore. And I, for one, I know there's health risks and all that for doing anything really, but I miss the theatrical experience. So I'm going to be happy to go back to
I'm going to go see New Mutants too. I don't care what people say about it.
I'll go to New Mutants too.
Yeah.
What are people saying?
That it's
People
not
are
good.
saying that it's not good, but I don't know.
Worst X-Men movie ever, I heard.
I love the New Mutants
Ever?
in the
That's
comic
what
books.
was said.
I can't. I'm going to go
worse
see it.
than
I
X2?
don't believe. I'm going to see it myself. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
The last trailer looked good. I think I'm gonna go watch it.
I have to see it with my own eyes. I don't trust people.
What's the critical point they're making?
It's just a bunch of yahoos coming on. Probably a bunch of trolls too, just coming on, just saying the bad things.
I don't like it.
Russian trolls. The Russian trolls.
Yeah. The thing with a lot of these people who say they don't like something, they don't even know anything. They don't even know what it's about. They don't even know who any of the characters are. So
that's what I'm wondering. Is it because they're coming to see an X-Men movie and it's New Mutants? It's not the same
Who
thing.
knows, man? I have to see it. Like I said, I have to see it myself.
I'm actually excited to see it. So I'm surprised that it does not have good reviews.
34% on Rotten Tomatoes, 53% audience score. Critic consensus is rendering a list of potentially explosive ingredients mostly inert. The New Mutants is a franchise spinoff that's less than the sum of its superpowered parts.
Huh.
That's harsh. That's really a low rating. I don't see how that could be better. I don't see how that could be the worst X-Men movie.
I'm excited to see Colossus's sister. Is that Magic?
Magic? Oh, that's his sister? I did not know that.
I believe that is his sister.
Because they got Wolfsbane. She's one of my favorite. You know who I don't know if they're going to have in this? It was one of my favorite. Was Warlock, kind of the organic robot. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I do.
He was a cool character.
He came after the mutant virus. Right after that, they introduced him. Yeah.
He was a good character.
Yeah, I did like him. He was kind of like he's trying to figure things out, but he was a good guy. And yeah, I liked him. Yeah.
It's a good cast. I'm going to watch it, I think. Yeah. We'll see. We'll be the ones to tell you if it's the worst X-Men movie ever. And we're the ones you should trust, not critics. Well, all right. That's all I got for news, I believe. You guys got anything else?
I don't think so.
B-Banner?
No, I think I'm good. I think that covers everything because there's not a lot going on with everything in the world.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's this much news, for being totally honest. But all right, let's move on to our top 5 countdown. B-Banner, would you like to start, sir?
Sure. So the top 5 countdown is top Wolverine moments, as we said in the beginning of the podcast. And for me, some of it's just nostalgia. You may not even know what it is. And some of it's obviously most people will know about. So my number 5 is animated series when Alpha Flight tricked Wolverine to come to Canada and try and capture him. And it was the first time Wolverine in the animated series really had his own little thing. And he was able to neutralize Alpha Flight, but then they did capture him. But it just showed how powerful he is, even though isn't held on that pedestal on like that level. Mm-hmm. So I really enjoyed that part.
So I remember that episode vividly because I didn't know who Alpha Flight was. I remember thinking that the Vindicator was Vindicator. Was that the name of it? I thought he was a pretty cool character.
Yeah.
And you're right. That was the first episode where it kind of gave him backstory, and it was like his own little show. And then I was like, oh, wait, Wolverine did what before he was an X-Men?
Yeah.
In my child brain, I was like, he was always an X-Men. And I was like, wow, he has this huge backstory. And I know a big fan of the Alpha Flights. He's sitting to my left.
That's right. Hey, who's your favorite Alpha Flight character?
I already know who yours is.
It's a close tie for me.
I like Sasquatch.
Yes. He's my close second.
That's mine.
Yeah.
I know you like Puck.
Puck is my favorite Alpha Flight character. He's a little person.
He kind of reminds me of like a miniaturized Wolverine without all the extras.
Yeah, really strong, acrobatic.
agile.
Dude like spins like a wheel, doing cartwheels and stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
So yeah.
Good number 5, sir.
That's just stuck in my brain forever. So yeah.
Nice. All right. So mine is a combination of I have a couple comic moments and a few movie moments because I think some of the best Wolverine moments have been in some of his movies. But this one is actually, it's a moment that I love and a moment that has stuck with me. Like, I think about it a lot and I watch this scene a lot. But it happens to be a scene from one of the worst X-Men movies ever. So, like, I never watched the movie all the way through. I'll just go to this. And this is when Wolverine kills Jean, spoilers, in X-Men The Last Stand. So this is, in my opinion, probably the second worst X-Men movie ever, if we're counting Origins. X-Men Origins Wolverine is an X-Men movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I think that's the worst. I think this.
For sure.
And then, Dark Phoenix. I don't think Dark Phoenix is worse than this.
No.
I think a lot of people said that. I don't think so.
No.
But so anyway, this scene's amazing. So Jean is freaking out and she's just killing all the people, right? And she's doing this thing where people are just basically disintegrating. And Wolverine starts walking to her, claws out. And the reason this scene is cool is because she keeps hitting him with wave after wave of energy. And because of his healing factor, you see like all his skin and stuff just disintegrate and then heal and disintegrate and then heal. And he's like screaming in pain and then coming back together. And she just hits him harder and harder and harder till like he finally gets up to her. They shares kind of a tender moment. She flashes like her being Jean again, not the Phoenix. And bam, he stabs her. Kills her, holds her, screams, but like the visual of him walking to her and just regenerating.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was done so well, and I'm just like, if only that could have been in a better movie. Like that didn't save the movie by any means, but that was a really good shot. It felt out of place almost, like that belonged in a better movie, and it somehow was here.
It really showed how his healing factor is like super, super fast.
Right. And how he was the only one who could have taken her out, but it meant that he had to kill the woman he loved, and so it worked emotionally on a lot of levels on a movie that just was garbage across the board. So I really like that scene, though. And we're talking Wolverine moments, so don't watch this movie, but watch that scene. That was really, really good. That's my number 5.
Okay, folks. So mine, I thought that maybe a lot of other people would be talking about some movies and animated series and stuff. So I went all with comic books on mine.
Nice.
Oh.
So my number 5 is from. I may get some of these issues wrong or stuff. I'm just as best of my. I went back and looked and tried to figure out if I could see what issues they were. But it was X-Men number 25.
Oh, I know this one.
When Wolverine battles Magneto, which he's done a few times, and it never turns out good for Wolverine.
Yeah, no.
He always gets his ass handed to him.
I'm gonna bet this is my honorable mention.
And then, so this is when Magneto says, I got a lesson for you, bro.
Just like that. That's a quote from the comic.
You know, when all that painful process of having adamantium put on your bones, I'm taking that stuff out, ripping it off, tearing it through your skin, and you don't have it anymore. And that's what he did. Looked like little worms coming out of him, little adamantium worms coming out of him. And you can see the pain. It's excruciating. And I think that he was without that for like 6 years in comic books before I finally got it back. Who gave it back to him?
I can't remember. Because I think 2 or 3 years after that is when I kind of fell off with the comics because life. So I don't remember how I got it back.
I can't remember who gave it back to him anyways. But anyway, so it was like a lot of years he was back to Bone Claws and stuff. So
yeah, that issue I think came out in '93, and I think Jim Lee was the one who drew it, right?
Yes,
that was
probably.
that era, right?
Yeah, I read that not knowing what was going to happen.
Yeah. I remember reading that after the fact. Like it was still '90s, but I think it was like later '90s, and I read it specifically because that was the story. And damn, it was graphic. Like the illustration was. It did look like worms, but like everybody freaking out, like thinking that he was just murdering him. Like was done.
You
really
can't
well.
murder Wolverine.
Yeah.
He'll come back from like one cell. You can make him a small bowl of soup, and he'll come back.
I remember when I read it too. I didn't know about like the bone claws because my only introduction had been the animated series. I think the movie was coming out, the first one. And then that's when I like saw the bone claws. I was like, oh, what the hell? Like,
Okay.
It's because when he first came out, there was a long time where people didn't even, they thought maybe he got his claws when he got the adamantium, that he didn't have
That's
claws
what I
before.
assumed. Yeah.
There was a lot of weird stuff about the bone claws were a newer development where they said, he's had these claws all along.
They had just come out with like explaining the Weapon X program.
Right.
That's when you kind of saw that he had bone claws.
which that to me that made sense though because it's like, oh, so the adamantium just laced his bones like it was doing in general. So it made sense to me.
Sure.
But yeah, good pick. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was my number 5 for a while, then it got bumped. But
Okay.
all right, B-Bana, number 4.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay. So, again, this is when I used to read comics a lot, way back. My number 4 was X-Men comic number 4 from the 90s when he fought Omega Red. Mm-hmm. So the reason I like that is that that was Omega Red's first appearance, and he was similar in that he had a super strong metal that was more malleable. I think it was carbonamium. You remember the name?
I don't remember.
Yeah. So they fought for 17 hours straight, no break.
Shit.
That's a long time.
And that's how long it
Cardio,
took.
bro.
Yeah, that's how long it took Omega Red to finally capture Wolverine. Also, Omega Red has this mutant factor where he just kills people if they get close. Mm-hmm. They just toxically die. So that helped him neutralize Wolverine's healing factor. But again, it just showed how strong and powerful Wolverine is. So it was a moment in the comics where I'm like, wow, there's a reason this is one of my favorite characters.
Omega Red is one that I would love to see done well in a movie.
Yeah, he has to be done well.
That's that's a character that could be really kind of dumb if like you don't nail it. But the voice actor in the animated series form was great, I thought.
Yeah,
I loved him in the show.
Yeah, he's not like a team killer, but he's also not somebody you solo.
No, he's one. I would want to see him in a Wolverine solo adventure. Yeah. I wouldn't want him to go against the X-Men.
Yeah.
Or be a part of like him and Sabretooth and somebody else attacking them.
Sure.
Like that would be cool. But
and he was Russia's version of Captain America. But of course, Russia decided to make a serial killer their Captain America because that's how I don't know what they're thinking, and it didn't go very well. So
nice.
That's my number 4.
Good pick, sir. My number 4 is from... okay, I would probably say easily my favorite Wolverine graphic novel. A lot of people's favorite, one of his most famous stories ever. It's from Old Man Logan, and it was really hard for me. I almost just put Old Man Logan as a pick and was just going to rattle off everything I liked about that. But then I was like, no, that's cheap because I can't just say the entire thing. So I picked a couple moments. This is when the final battle when he throws down with the Hulk. So first of all, the whole thing's great. If you've never read it, pause this, go read it, and then come back because I'm going to talk about it. The whole thing is great. When he finally, after the Hulk's family kills his family, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to murder all of you. And he kills the Hulk's family. That's great. But when he has the final fight with the Hulk, who he's fought dozen times or so in comics, usually some kind of stalemate, usually doesn't end well for Wolverine. I believe the Hulk ripped him in half at one point.
Yeah.
But in this, the Hulk
Ultimates,
straight up eats him. Like, again, in one of the most graphic shots I've ever seen, just starts chomping on him and eats him. Mm-hmm. And you see his belly all swollen and stuff, and you think he's won because he should have, except that it's Wolverine, and Wolverine heals. And the next shot is Wolverine exploding out of his freaking stomach in one of the most amazing shots ever, and just slicing him apart from the inside. It's just like, well, that's how you kill the Hulk. Holy shit. I remember my jaw. So that entire graphic novel had my jaw on the floor. Spoilers, one of my higher up moments is going to be from this as well. But that moment specifically, I was just like, holy crap. Because I didn't get how like an older Wolverine who hadn't been fighting for years, and how are you going to beat like arguably your most powerful opponent ever that you've never really beat? Like I remember he's actually like stabbed him in the head before and it didn't stop him. So I'm like, how are you going to win? And I was like, well played, writers. Didn't see that shit coming. Great moment. Great graphic novel. My number 4.
Good pick. Thank you. So my number 4 is from What If number 24.
Ooh.
Wolverine, Lord of the Vampires. In this What If comic, I believe that it is, I think Storm got bit by Dracula, and she came back and turned everybody else into vampires. Dracula has control over the people who are his descendants, or that he turns into vampires. Except for Wolverine, he's got his healing and regenerative powers, which prevent him from falling under the spell and control of Dracula. And then he kills Dracula, and he becomes the Lord of the Vampires. But then he starts like killing a bunch of people because they're vampires, vampires kill people and eat people. So he goes, he goes bad. I think that he kills Doctor Strange, who, what do you call it? Takes over the body of the Punisher. What do you call that? Possesses the body of Punisher, and then I can't remember if they actually kill him, but somehow they put a stop to it. They put a stop to it from that point on. And I think they all die. I think they wind up killing him and then they all die. But that was just a what if. So yeah, that was my number 4.
Nice.
Wolverine, Lord of the Vampires.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that one. I don't know that story. I don't know a lot of the what if stories, but it's a good one. Is it me now?
Yeah. Number 3.
Right, number 3. It's I don't want to say recent, but it's more recent. Wolverine's son came into the comics.
Daken?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's no longer there because Wolverine killed him. Because he was just not a good dude. He was dealing drugs, kind of like he was dealing drugs. He was in I forget what the drug that he was. He was really into the drug, some drug that gave you your superpowers, made him stronger. Anyway, Wolverine got into a confrontation and decided he would kill him and drown him in a puddle. So I thought that was pretty,
first he was trying to drown Wolverine, wasn't he? He was trying to drown Wolverine before that. And Wolverine was trying not to kill him, but then he wound up drowning him.
Yeah, but as far as ways to kill your son go, that's pretty harsh.
And that's why I was like, oh, wow. He drowned his own son in a puddle. That's pretty savage. So I was blown away by that. So
see, it's all about context, because that could be a lame way to die. Because when Bruce Willis died that way in Glass, we were both just like,
we're
lame.
Like, what? Oh, come on.
But yeah, it was pretty harsh.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't his son, I would be like, but drowning your own son, that's pretty harsh. So, but he did what he had to do.
Yeah. I haven't read anything with his son in it, but like I've watched videos like on YouTube's talking about his son. I was like, yeah, that guy's a dick.
Yeah,
he was Daken was like Wolverine for a while, wasn't he? Like standing in, trying to be. I think
when Wolverine was dead.
Yeah, and then his true colors started shining through.
Yeah. Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good pick, sir. All right. My number 3 is from a movie. It is from The Wolverine. And this is the second Wolverine movie, if you're not familiar. And I've often said that 75% of this movie is amazing. 75% of this movie is a 9 or a 10 out of 10. It's brilliant. And then the third act happens, and I wanted to rage quit. And the scene I'm about to talk about is one of my favorite moments of Wolverine ever. And if the movie would have ended here, it would have been like the Dark Knight of Wolverine movies. But we got Logan later, so it's okay. I've looked back and I'm a little more forgiving. But this is the scene. So this entire movie, Wolverine's healing factor isn't working because he's been poisoned by, I can't remember her name, the reptile lady girl. Shoots the acid. Can't remember. I'll put it up somewhere. But anyway, he has this parasite inside of him that's removing his healing factor, and he goes on and he's trying to cut it out. He takes the claw out, rips the stomach open, reaches in, removes it, but basically passes out and dies on the table. Yoriko is there, and Mariko's father comes rocking the 2 katanas and is trying to kill Wolverine or finish him off. Mm-hmm. She's fighting him off, and they're having this great fight scene, like actually really, really intense. The music's really good. The choreography is really good. Fighting all around his body where she's trying to protect him. She's losing the fight because this dude is a really, really, really good swordsman. And little by little, we start seeing Wolverine healing. And talk about building up to a moment, because as you see his little wounds healing, you were just waiting for it. And then she progressively keeps losing more of the fight, losing.
I forgot about
and
this.
And then you see the big wound that he cut open start to heal, and you're just like, yes, any moment now. She gets knocked down, katana goes down, bam, Wolverine catches it with his claws, chucks the dude, does a backflip to stay away from my friend. And then we get the single most badass Wolverine moment in any movie, where he stands up, the rain and the fucking lightning and thunder going, and they start fighting. And this is where it's brilliant, because this dude is a better fighter with a katana than Wolverine is with his claws. He lands several what should be kill shots on him.
Yeah.
And Wolverine just keeps healing and keeps coming to where he straight up gets a body slice that should have cut him in half. And he just heals, and he runs him through with the katanas. And Wolverine has this moment where he just looks at him, and he's gonna kill him. And he's like, "You tried to kill your daughter. Live with that." And just throws him down, pulls the katanas out, and starts to walk away. And then the dude, stupidly comes out Wolverine with the katana, stabs him directly through the heart. Wolverine just kind of looks at him, and the dude's like, "What are you?" Dramatic pause. The Wolverine claws through the neck.
Yeah.
Captain Mao cheers. Dude falls. Wolverine pulls the katana out as the lightning strikes. By the way, Hugh Jackman, jacked AF. Everything about this was Wolverine. And it's just truly embodied in cinema. If the movie would have ended here, unanimous standing ovation. And then it kept going and got dumb as fuck. And then it kept going, and we had stupid Silver Samurai Iron Man wannabe bullshit, and it got dumb. But if it would have ended there, would have been an amazing movie. That scene, I still will just go watch that on YouTube from time to time, because it gets me so excited. Yeah. That is a great scene. That is the embodiment of Wolverine in a movie. That was my number 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. My number 3, giant size Wolverine Old Man Logan number 1.
Nice.
So
that's a mouthful.
You've already talked about this. This is the one you talked about when he killed Hulk. Some of the things, though, in this one that was different than a lot of the other Old Man Logan is you find out just how inbred and cannibalistic all the Hulks are.
Yeah.
Every single scene, they're eating people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're eating body parts and
just
people.
Disgusting. The hills have eyes.
Yeah.
People.
Can we talk about how, they're around because he had sex with his cousin She-Hulk in order to make her
She-Hulk,
happy? That's
Jennifer.
we're like, what the hell happened?
Yes. What the hell? What? And there's Hulks everywhere.
Yeah.
And when he finds Banner is the oldest, most decrepit old man.
He's like in a cave, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he's like living in a cave, and then he comes out, and even just as Banner, he hasn't turned into Hulk yet. He's given Wolverine a run for his money. He's actually kind of beating his ass in Banner form. And so, like you said, they fight, and he finally chomps them all up and eats them. And the funny thing is, it's been like 12 hours. He's eating them, and like his son comes in, he's like there. Oh, I don't feel so good.
He's not sitting right.
Like I got any Pepto-Bismol? I got a little indigestion. And next thing you know, he just comes tearing out of him. That's my number 3.
That was a crazy freaking battle.
My number 2 is from Old Man Logan.
It's almost like that's a good comic you guys should read.
It is a good comic. Everybody should read that. It's excellent. When you find out the reason why he no longer pops his claws, as he says, and it's kind of a surprise. He's telling the story to, I think it was Hawkeye.
Blind Hawkeye.
Blind Hawkeye, who still has pretty good aim.
Yeah.
He's telling the story. Basically, he believes that he's being attacked by his rogues gallery, basically Omega Red, Strife, all the Magneto, all these characters, and he's somehow defeating them all. It turns out it was Mysterio. Tricked him in believing that his own fellow X-Men were villains, and because of that, he was able to get the jump on them, because they would never expect that he would do that to them. Even while he's killing them, they're like, why are you doing this? Because they just can't believe that it's happening. And he kills all the X-Men and wanders off into the forest. So it was
cool.
at
all.
So I totally understand why he didn't want to pop his claws. But another good moment, I don't know if you guys have it on your list, is I'll do an honorable mention for that one. But yeah, so that's my number 2.
Nice. Good pick, sir. My number 2. So this is the death of Wolverine, not the comic in Logan. The death of Wolverine in the actual comic is an honorable for me. That was really cool, getting drowned in the adamantium and it slowly solidifying and all that was cool. But like we talked about, except for Uncle Ben and Batman's parents, nobody stays dead. He was back like 2 years later, I think, in real time. So and nobody knew nobody thought he was gonna stay dead, I should say. But I think the flaw that comics have with that is that they're perpetually in the second act, right? You get like an origin story, and then the rest of their story goes on forever. There's no real close. There's no real ending, and it can't be because of the format of comic books, right? That's just the nature of how it is, and that's fine. And I think part of the reason people love the Dark Knight trilogy, for example, is because it does have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Whether or not you like the ending, it did have an end and had closure. That's why a lot of people love Logan, or at least partly why I love that movie, despite it being great in a lot of ways. It had an ending, and it had a closure for the character. Yeah. And he died being a hero one more time, being Wolverine one more time, saving his daughter, saving his daughter's friends, saving like what would be probably the next generation of mutants who might grow up and be something good, helping them get away. And when he finally died, you could tell he's a guy who was yearning for death, who didn't have a reason to fight, anything like that. Yeah. And she showed him that there was something worth fighting for still. And when little Laura is holding his hand and he's like thanking her and he's dying and all this, like I was teary. Like I was this close to bawling, tears streaming down my eyes. When they bury him and then she lifts up the cross and tilts it to the X, I was like, it is so simple, but damn well played. Yeah. That was just good visual storytelling. And you're like, you know what? Even though like the nerd in me is like, oh well, he wouldn't die. Da, 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 da. I'm just like, no, you know what? This story, this movie, the way that they told it, it worked. Yeah. It worked for the character. It was a great send-off. That entire movie, so it is loosely inspired by the comic book Old Man Logan. That obviously they changed a lot up for it. A lot. It is very much not the same thing, but kind of has the same tone. You can see that it took inspiration from it and then did their own story. If you've never watched it, watch it. It is a fantastic movie. But that scene,
one of my favorites.
Yeah, mine too. But him actually dying, spoilers. I thought was a good fitting closure to the character. And characters like that don't always get closures because of the nature of the media that they're in. And so I was really on board with it. I liked it. I cried. It's great. That's partly why I don't watch that movie as much as I do, like, say, The Dark Knight, because you have to be ready for the emotional impact that it's going to give you, because it's going to get me every freaking time. So I can't watch it all the time. I just got to be ready for it. Yeah. So that's my number 2.
Nice. That's a good one. My number 2 is from Punisher number 17, one of the volumes, one of the, they like to redo the numbers. I remember the olden days. Yeah. Don't you remember the olden days? I mean, and DC's been better at it with just sticking with the numbers. Yeah. And now it just, they're starting over, it's just all the time. But anyways, one of the Punisher 17s. I like this one because it got weird. Okay. This is the one.
Is this the one where you talk about the bath?
No.
Okay. Different one.
This is the one where Punisher blows his face off, and for most of the comic book, he's got skeleton face. Yeah, okay? I remember that. And they're fighting a whole... I don't remember how
Punisher
the whole...
blows Wolverine's
face off. Shotgun, doesn't
it? Shotgun. With a shotgun. Blows his face off. Yeah. And they're like... I can't remember how the Little People Mafia got involved, but there's little people everywhere in the middle of their fight. I think at one time Punisher holds one up as a shield against Wolverine's claws, and they stab him. It's just crazy. But then after that, Punisher blows his junk off. He hits him right in the midsection and blows his family jewels off. Okay, and if that's not bad enough, after fighting some more, he runs him over with a steam engine, just like an old school cartoon. Yeah. Runs him over with a steam engine. But did that kill him? No.
Did it say Acme on the side?
Because he's Wolverine. Okay. But I just remember, for the sheer fact that he's almost through the whole comic, he's got just a skeleton for a face through the entire thing, through the fight.
Why didn't that heal quickly?
I was wondering
because
that too.
because the artist and the writer wanted it to be that way.
I don't remember that entire
There's
story.
nothing in the world, if you know anything about Wolverine, that should make that happen through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Other than they just thought, hey, you know what would be really cool?
And that's so if I remember correctly, when he got the adamantium ripped out, his healing factor was faster, right? Like it was.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the canon was that his healing factor is what made him able to have the adamantium,
Right.
Because it was poisonous.
Right, but so he was continuously working
was
and
always
regenerating.
healing.
Right. So when it was out, like cuts.
He was super fast.
Wasn't there like a thing like you would start cutting him and it would heal before you were even done cutting him or something?
yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, that's
Skeleton
it.
face Logan. Fucking
Yeah,
Skeletor
yeah.
Logan. All right, B-Banner, you're number one.
Yeah, my number one, I think was your number 5 or 4, the adamantium being ripped out by Magneto.
Nice.
Yeah, that was, again, it was like, that's when I was reading comics. I was younger, and it was just kind of happened. Before that, you had never seen anything affect adamantium, his adamantium or any adamantium. It was just, you couldn't touch it. You couldn't do anything to it. It was unbreakable. His claws are super, super sharp. And then you just see suddenly it's ripped out of him. And you're like, what the hell? You know, it's Wolverine. How can I didn't think that was possible. You know, Master of Magnetism, Magneto, yeah, probably. But it's a different metal, I was thinking all along. But he had that much that power to rip it out of him.
Well, didn't Wolverine also like just try to kill Magneto? Like they were fighting, right? So
Oh yeah,
Magneto
no, he
got
had like
pissed off,
stabbed
right?
him or did.
he did something.
Yeah.
The X-Men were fighting Magneto because I think he was he had sunk like a battleship or something,
Right.
and he said in defense of himself.
But Wolverine wounded Magneto.
Yes.
Because what I remember is that he hurt Magneto, and it's like Magneto got pissed and just kind of realized out of nowhere,
Right.
wait a minute.
Yes.
That's metal, motherfucking.
Yeah.
Oof.
So they were attacking him, and then Wolverine was able to sneak in and actually slice him in the stomach, and that just pissed him off.
I think that maybe Magneto's always known he could tear that stuff out, but he's been like, that's a little overboard. I'm not.
It's a little
I'm not going there.
gratuitous.
Yeah.
So to play on that,
Because he's moved him around
Yeah.
using his
Yeah.
adamantium before, but I think he said, "Oh no, I'm pissed right now.
He's
I'm gonna
always too like,
do it."
he doesn't want to fight mutants. He wants them to
No.
all go by his cost. I get it. Like he probably some part of him knew he could.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, and when he did that, right after that, that's when Professor X basically melted Magneto's mind.
Yeah.
Because he did that. So
that was definitely
I think
crossing a line.
Professor X and Magneto both hold back because they don't want to push it to that level.
yeah.
That once Magneto went to that level, Professor X said, "Okay, well, let's do it."
yeah.
He melted his mind, and which created a whole nother series. That's how Onslaught was created. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah.
remember Onslaught.
Yeah, when they were
was
combined.
by that single
yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, that's my number one.
Good pick, graphic pick, and had consequences throughout the Marvel Universe.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
good one. All right, my number one. If you're wondering why I didn't comment on your previous pick that much, because it is my number one. Wolverine murders the X-Men in Old Man Logan. There's no way to really kind of set this up if you've never read it. Well, I mean, we're spoiling it, one. But two, you don't know why Wolverine's not popping the claws, why he's not fighting, why he's being passive, why he's letting the Hulk gang bully him, why he's not being Wolverine anymore.
Yeah, because Wolverine's the guy you don't pick on. 'Cause you pick on him, he's going to come at you 10 times harder.
And he's just totally not the same person. And so the whole time you're just wondering, like, what the hell happened? Why he would even? There's even situations he's in the comic with Hawkeye where you think now he's gonna do it and he doesn't.
Yeah.
So something super bad must have happened. Never in my wildest imagination that I think what happened. So they show it when he's finally telling the story or remembering the story. And so they do something that was really brilliant in this, because I've always thought to myself, every superhero has their rogues gallery, right? Has a dozen or so bad guys that they fight regularly. And I'm like, they are way outnumbered. If they even just like on one superhero at a time, if all the rogues gallery ganged up on them, they're dead.
Yeah.
But you can't ever do that because it's a comic book. They have to win. And this is what the brilliance of this comic was, where the bad guys across the Marvel Universe actually got their shit together and were like, hey, we outnumber you guys like 10-1.
Yeah.
If we actually coordinated an attack, no way you guys can stand up to us. And how do you take out Wolverine? Well, you get fucking Mysterio to cast an illusion to make him think he's fighting his rogues gallery. And so the way they do this was great because they show the panel of him just murdering Sabretooth and murdering all these guys, and then the very next shot is him surrounded by all the bodies of the X-Men.
Yeah.
And my jaw was on the floor because, one, it is an incredibly graphic panel. Like, I think Kitty Pryde is in his arms, just freaking chest, like, ripped out. And, like, everyone's dead. And he talks about how, as it was happening, apparently, they were fighting him. They were kind of trying to stop him because you're right. They were just shocked that it was happening.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was happening. But even so, Wolverine thought that he was alone in the mansion and they were coming to kill him and they were going to kill everybody. So he went straight berserker and just started slashing everyone apart. He didn't hold back at all. So even if like they had tried to stop him with all their power, he probably would have got a couple casualties.
Yeah.
But when they're trying to just restrain him, you're dead.
Yeah.
And they weren't even really trying to fight him. And so the shot of him just standing there, the sheer realization and the horror of that moment, and then him just wandering out into the woods. And I was just like, what in the hell did I just read? Yeah. And it blew my mind. Like I had to like pause from reading the rest of it. I had to like take a moment. I had to woosah. I went back and like then read it again. And it was the most visceral thing I've ever experienced, probably in a comic book. It was rough.
I was not expecting that to be Mysterio because
he's a Spider-Man character.
He's a villain, but I don't really think he's not like upper echelon.
No, he's not the super
but he was able to eliminate the X-Men. I'm like, damn.
Mysterio eliminated the X-Men.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yep, that was my sentiments.
That was up there, the holy shit moment in terms of like Joker shooting Barbara. Like for me, like that is up there in like moments of holy shit. Comic books are not for children, people. Like this, not anymore. So yeah, that's my number one.
Nice.
Thank you, sir.
My number one is Marvel Comics presents number 72, Weapon X.
Nice.
This is when we finally get to see how he got his adamantium, and it kind of, you never really know what's going on with Wolverine. He's one of the famous brooders. I know you like brooders.
I do like the broody broods. The broody broods.
You never really know what's going on or what makes him tick or why he's the way he is. You know he's been through lots of wars and he's seen a lot of trauma and he's outlived tons of people. So you start kind of seeing why he might be that way. But then when he gets kidnapped by the Weapon X program, they're trying to erase his memories. He's like tortured and they got him. He's like, for a lot of the comic, he's like got all kinds of things hooked up to him and he's in liquid and submerged.
He's kind of going in and out and stuff.
And it's an interesting comic book because there's a lot of stuff going on and it's really confusing. And you don't know if it's because we're kind of seeing it through his perception of what's going on and he's confused and doesn't know what's going on. And it also, who's the scientist?
I don't remember.
I can't remember the guy's name. I thought it started with an S. But anyways,
not Stryker.
No, it's kind of like Spectre or some type of thing like that. But anyways, that guy is like, he's the one who's, you think is maybe in charge of the thing, but you don't really know for sure who is running the whole show. And he doesn't really seem to know very much about him anyways. Yeah. He almost at one point, I think, seems surprised that he's a mutant.
And it's like when you're reading it, you're as confused as he is.
Right. And you're like, he's almost like surprised he's a mutant. And you're like, wait a minute. Isn't this the whole thing because he's a mutant and he has the healing that we're able to do this? Shouldn't you have known that already? Yeah. So he's... and then, of course, he gets the adamantium. He gets that. That's a painful process. You see it excruciating applied to his bones. And then they, like, dump him out in the middle of the snow, out in the middle of nowhere naked. And so he's out there naked fighting wild animals. Yeah. And it's almost like it's you see a portion of what he's gone through for him to be kind of as messed up as he is. And it's almost like during that part you almost see him battling with his human side and maybe his animalistic side and savage side. So it's an interesting comic book.
That sounds way better than X-Men Origins Wolverine. Like, way better. Why didn't they just do that?
Yeah. No,
That
it's,
was good too because it at least kind of shows where he came from, even though it might not be that great.
I wouldn't use the word
No.
good.
I'm talking about the movie. The
I'm
book's
talking about
great.
the comic book.
No, the comic's
I'm talking
good.
about the comic book.
Right.
I like having that backstory.
I did too.
Yeah.
So I like the comics
Yeah.
great. It just doesn't show that.
Right.
I'm talking the movie did show
Oh
it,
no,
and
yeah,
it was garbage.
for sure, for reals, bro.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Nice.
I hope they do a Weapon X movies, and they show some of the other guys that were in the program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool. You know, I hope they kind of put all that
Wasn't
together.
Sabretooth in it too? Like,
Yeah.
wasn't he gonna
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
adamantium?
One of them.
Like, so.
Yeah.
That's why there's all this backstory that you could explore, and they just didn't.
There was a whole bunch. Well, I mean, of course, you got X-23 that went through that program.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of characters that went through the Weapon X.
yeah.
I think a lot of those other Claude superheroes were all part of the
Right.
Yeah.
Weapon X. So
Nice. Good picks.
None were Wolverine though. Wolverine's a classic.
yeah,
True. I was gonna say this before we started the countdown, but I know for a fact he's your favorite comic book character.
He is my
superhero.
favorite comic book
He's
character.
At least top 4 for me.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite. When I first got into comics, it was through the little cards.
Yeah.
Somebody at school had the
I
cards.
had those. Yeah.
And just reading the back, their powers and stuff, and then I started reading the comics, and yeah, Wolverine, the Hulk, my top 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, he came out in '74.
Yeah.
So he came out in '74 in Incredible Hulk, at the end of Incredible
Yes.
Hulk 180.
Yeah.
And so he is in 181. He's through the whole comic book, but find Wendigo and the Hulk. So he came out then, and so that was cool. And when
He
you
was to be a one-off,
He
though,
was
wasn't he?
supposed to be a throwaway character.
Yeah. He was just one time.
And then, of course, a year later, now he's in the revamped X-Men, of course. And so when you're a kid, I remember being a kid, and you see claws and
Unbreakable
and all that, and you're going at people. You're like, oh, this guy's cool.
Yeah.
I just remember that's why I was
He
like
was-
him when I was a little kid.
Like I said, the X-Men, the animated series in the 90s was my introduction to the X-Men. And so he was by far my favorite for exactly the reasons you mentioned. Back then, even, he was my favorite over Batman. Like, I thought he was so cool. I thought he was bad. I would run around with my fingers out, like, doing the Wolverine. Like, I was so into it. It wasn't until I got older Batman passed him for me, but he's still, like, super high up there. He's such a cool character.
Marvel, you had me at the claws and that crazy hairdo.
All right, you guys got honorables?
Yeah, let me see what I put down. Just talking about Wolverine's brought so many other things about it. So, honorable mention, I guess, with Old Man Logan.
The whole book.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. When he defeated the Hulk, that was, and also when he was getting beat up by those Hulks, and when he finally decided this is it. I believe he left to go do something, and they came and killed his family.
Yeah, he went on the mission with Hawkeye to get the money to pay them what he owed.
Right.
And he actually showed up on time. And they killed his
And they
family just
still-
early because they were bored.
Yep. So he busted in there, and
those
that was
Hulks.
when he was like, "That's it,
Yeah.
I'm done." So
Nice.
yeah.
My honorables. So you guys listed a couple of them. Hit the Magneto ripping the adamantium out for sure.
Yeah.
Him dying in The Death of Wolverine, I thought was just done really well, pretty artistic and all that.
Yeah.
One from X-Men the animated series. I don't know why this stood in my head forever because again, I was a kid and I wasn't the biggest kid. I'm 5'10" now, so I'm not the biggest dude. But I remember it was one of the episodes when they captured Sabretooth and Professor was trying to rehabilitate him, and Wolverine's like, "No, he's playing you guys," and he leaves.
Yeah.
And Jubilee's alone with him, and he tricks her, gets out, and he has her by the throat. He's gonna kill her. The X-Men are gone doing something. Wolverine shows up. He chucks Jubilee, and Wolverine's like, "You always liked on picking on people smaller than you. I'm smaller. Try to pick on me," and just lunges out. And that just stuck in my brain. I'm just like, hey. And he's having this amazing fight with Sabretooth, who's 3 times the size.
Yeah,
and to me, I was just like, okay, fuck bullies. Like, don't let them pick. Like, just the best way to deal with it is be Wolverine and just go right at them.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It was weird that influenced me, and I remember that so vividly. But I thought that was a cool scene.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I drew some of my values in life from comics.
Yes. Why do you think we're doing this? Clearly, we have been influenced.
So yeah, that was a good moment for sure. Yeah, I remember that too.
Right, it was a good moment. Another one for me is from the actual origin comic when he inadvertently kills his dad. Because you don't know that whole dynamic and like what's going on, and the dude clearly looks like him.
Well, he didn't know it was his dad.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't know until
Thomas Logan.
Yeah, until he
didn't know that. I don't know Elizabeth Hallett. And what was going on there?
Looked just like him though. But him realizing and like the freak out and everything that happened, that was really cool, and I would like to see that in a movie. Again, Orton just dropped the ball with that. They kind of showed part of it, but didn't show that. So yeah, those are mine. What, you got any more? I had a couple more. I can't remember though.
I mean, I liked the origin story. That was a big thing for me. The whole thing, just learning that he's born in 1880.
Yeah, that was James
in Alberta.
The swerve because
a rich family with the rich John and Elizabeth Hallett,
and he was sickly the whole time because you think he's Dog,
and had a brother named Dog. What's that? Who names their kid Dog?
Well, you think he's Dog because the dad looks like Logan, the groundskeeper. Right. So the whole time you're thinking it's him.
Yes.
Until the bone claws pop out as a child. You're like, oh my god, that's Wolverine. Like,
yes.
But like done very well in retrospect, obviously. But like it was done really well at the time, I thought.
Right.
So.
Like that. Also, one that I liked the story. It was a storyline. It's a storyline of the death of Wolverine, which, of course, I like that because in this one he got like a virus or something, and he started losing. He didn't have his healing powers.
Yeah.
So he's fighting to try to find out why or the source and what's going on, and he winds up getting to where he's the doctor that gave him the adamantium and made him all that was wanting to take back adamantium. Apparently he was like, hey, I want take back these. I want all that stuff back. Very valuable metal. I'm going to be removing it from everybody. And he was trying to give a whole bunch of people his healing power so they could, I can't even remember what the process was. Something was going on. He wanted to do bad things to bad people and extract his healing force, but he actually didn't have that anymore, that power, because he was losing it, and he wound up trying to go after the guy and kill him, but he poured all the adamantium on him. Yeah. So he's like in the adamantium trying to go after. He finally kills the doctor, and then it hardens, and he's trapped inside. But we know, because we've seen worse things, far worse things happen to Wolverine, that wouldn't kill him. But he was trapped inside until somehow he broke out or something.
Yeah, but that was just a cool shot. The panels of him walking into that while it was hardening, that was just really
And when he
cool.
hardened too, the position,
pose,
Right. Yeah, I never. I mean, when I saw that, I'm like, he's not dead. He's just dormant right now. He's in a cocoon. That's it. I was like,
well, because I think he was drowning on it also, wasn't he? And so, but what? Yeah, you're right. Like, just
but he can't be.
I think
not dead.
I think that he came back due to an Infinity Stone. If I remember correctly.
That'll do it.
Yeah, there was something involved in that. I can't remember. I don't remember the coming back.
I just liked that in the interim, X-23 took up the mantle.
Yeah.
I thought she was a good Wolverine, and she looked cool in the suit.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty dope. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, that was our countdown. The top 5 Wolverine moments of all time. Good pick, sir. Aside from like a Batman list, this is probably the funnest one I would have had with a comic character. So yeah.
And by the way, he's like the 4th most published character.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's in there with you. You basically got Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and Wolverine are always they're the top 4 most published characters.
I feel like those characters you could show to anybody in the world, and they would be like, "Oh, that's this person." So nice. All right, weapon 2. What time is it?
It's time for this or that.
Yeah. What do we got?
We're going straight into this? Not going to do any shenanigans?
I mean, like, until we figure out something funner to do.
That's right. Number 1, folks. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Planet of the Apes has already been done. You're pitching a movie. Yours is going to be Planet of the what?
So that's hard.
Strictly animal?
Planet of the whatever you think you want to put in that title.
All right. Well, I'm going to super into probes things right away. Let's.
It's hard because you would want something somewhat humanoid.
Yeah, something you could.
Because you can't go planet of the, I don't know, cheetahs.
Well, I went lion because lion's my favorite animal, but that would be horrible.
Yeah,
That'd be a terrible planet.
I went cheetah and like cheetahs with human. I don't know.
Like we'd be food.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do I want to survive?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you got?
Yeah, let's hear.
Yeah, let's hear from the master.
expert.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know if I put very much thought into this. Planet of the what? I don't know. You guys keep thinking.
We can do Planet of the cyborgs. I'll do
Planet of the cyborgs.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Okay.
Humans have made that cross threshold, and now they're cyborgs.
Okay. I don't know a world that ends good for humans is the problem. There's a lot of scenarios and none of them end well for us. So
Planet of the amphibians.
Oh, that's a good one.
People who can live on both land and water.
But is this like what I want to be a part of, or am I in this world as a person?
It's the planet. You would still just be a person.
Oh, well, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Just walk around with a bunch of frog people?
They're not all the frogs. Could be like, I don't know, salamander. I don't know at all. I don't know.
Salamander is an amphibian,
Salamander?
yes.
Okay.
You're right.
So I don't know. What do you want? You haven't even given an answer yet.
I want bird people.
Bruh.
I want bird people.
Oh, the bird people?
No, I want to
Planet
go.
of the bird people?
Yeah, various birds, mostly raptors, because I want to go fly. And I think if I befriend like an eagle person, maybe we can go.
Because in the planet of the things, they talk to you and they can communicate.
Yeah.
And
they
Rick
want to
and
treat
bird
you,
person seem to be pretty cool. So,
but then they'll treat you like you're an animal because apparently in the movies the regular humans can't talk. They've
but that's what I'm saying. So it's
regressed.
like whatever we're in the world of, you're gonna get eaten by a salamander person.
Oh, okay.
And
right.
what did you pick again? Robots?
Yeah, cyborgs.
Androids? That's
Cyborgs.
probably the less
half
horrible.
human,
Yeah.
half robot.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Very nice.
Basically, it's like, how do you want to die? That's what your question is.
They're going to look down upon full humans. Like, what's your problem? Why are you not making the jump?
Exactly.
We
Commit, bro.
We
What
got
are you
the
doing?
parts. We got the parts. We can make you a hybrid. Marvel adjectives. Would you rather be uncanny, incredible, amazing, or mighty?
Mighty.
I'm already amazing. So I'm going to go with incredible.
Incredible?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm not even sure what uncanny means.
I don't know. So the opposite of canny.
Yes.
So you're not going to be canny. I was going to go with mighty, but Brad beat me to Banner beat me to it.
You can do mighty.
No,
too.
I don't want to copy.
I'll just go amazing then.
I'm going to be incredible. Incredible sounds cool.
Because amazing and incredible could mean multiple things.
They could.
Like, you're amazing at sleeping. That's not really.
Unless you have sleep apnea. You're really not. Mighty's pretty straightforward.
Mighty, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll be incredible. It's cool.
I'm going to go with uncanny because I don't even know what it is. Yeah. Just living on the edge. 3. Who's the better detective?
Batman.
Sherlock Holmes,
Or?
Batman, or the Scooby Gang?
Whoa. Hang on. This is okay. Clearly, Batman's better than Sherlock.
Scooby Gang, I think,
though.
has uncovered every mystery. I don't think there's ever.
Yeah.
I think they're 100%.
They have 100% success rate.
And there are so many people that would have got away with it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Yeah.
You know what I like though? What's so funny about Scooby-Doo? Because obviously I used to watch this cartoon as a child. Every single time there's like this monster or ghost or whatever, and like for 90% of the episode, they think it's a real monster.
yeah.
And then at the end, like, oh, it was the gardener or whoever the fuck it was.
Zoink, Scoob!
But like, after like the 8th time that happened, wouldn't you just be like, hey, there's a werewolf. Is it? Or is it another dude in a mask?
That's it. As a kid, when I watched
You're
it,
all in.
that was somewhat satisfying to know. Okay, that's not real.
Yeah, you're a little relieved, aren't you?
I'm like, oh, thanks, Scooby Doo.
And anytime they want both Shaggy and Scooby to do something, they give them Scooby snacks. I think they're dog biscuits. Why is Shaggy so hyped for those dog biscuits?
If we're being totally honest, it's because he's high. Like, he's smoking all the... You don't get that as a child. Freaking, he is high as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyways, they're my pick.
Yeah.
They're my pick for the best.
Batman has been stumped before. As Banner mentioned, they are 100%.
Yeah.
So
Every time.
if
They're going to get you.
if someone
You better
murders
watch
me, you guys call the Mystery Machine to solve that. You put them on it.
If I disappear, you better get them.
Get those Scooby snacks.
All right, number 4. You have to join a group based only on the name.
Okay.
There is no fictional elements in this universe. It is just as it is in reality to us now. You know nothing other than the name that's provided. You don't know anything about these groups. You're just told the name, and you get to pick which group you want to be in. Okay? New Kids on the Block.
Motherfucker.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh.
I mean, okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Stone Temple Pilots. Or the Insane Clown Posse.
Okay, so if you turn off everything you know about him, some of those names are really cool. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen sounds like a group of dudes that are going to hang out and drink scotch and smoke cigars.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of on board with that. So I'm going to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's fair.
But but what would you do as a Guardian of the Galaxy? What we
what
know
if
now?
that's Space Force? What if that's you going to the space
superheroes
station?
or cosmic stuff.
I know.
This is just our world.
I could be sitting on a chair saying, "You can't come in."
Exactly.
You can come in.
No, you'd
I
be
don't
out.
know.
So they take you out to the International
That's
Space
cool.
Station.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you would. They might give you a hat. That's a Guardian of the Galaxy. And you would
With the
sit
radio.
there for about 6 months. And they'd say,
Roll the door.
How's
rolling doors.
How's everything going out there? Have you seen much? Not really. They'd say,
Guarding
we're
this
bringing you back.
galaxy.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with it anyway.
That's fair.
I might, just by those names, the Insane Clown Posse sounds fun. Just by name alone. Yeah.
I think the insane part. I don't know if I'd be involved in that.
Yeah, I don't think that means like insane. They just sound like they party a lot.
Does sound like they party.
Maybe
Those guys
It could
know how
be.
to party.
Yeah, they could be insane
Yeah.
partiers. Yeah.
Okay.
No one wants to be a new kid on the block?
Nah.
I thought you were going to start rattling off like boy bands. I thought the next words out of your mouth were
did I.
NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
Clearly the answer is NSYNC. Just saying. J-Tim. Feel you, bro.
All right, number 5. What would you rather become? One of Apocalypse's horsemen or Galactus's herald?
Oh, that's
Horseman.
I feel like the workload would be more well dispersed between four other members, and it's not quite as, There's a lot of pressure being the person who runs around and picks a world for somebody to devour. I mean, you're talking billions of people being
That's
killed.
gonna start weighing on your
So you
conscience
have-
more than just being a
Too
horse.
much.
You have more singular power, right, than you would as a horseman, clearly. But your
and
job
all the pressure that comes along with it.
Your job is a lot bigger, right? Versus first of all, being a horseman of the apocalypse, cool fucking title. Can we just get that out of the way? That just sounds baller. And you're just taking over one world.
Yeah.
So
Right. Just on Earth. Keep kind of doing stuff over and over again.
I don't know if you know, but like in the X-Men universe, the Marvel universe, mutants are really oppressed. And as I've said about Magneto a dozen times, the shit he says makes a lot of sense. I'm just saying, if I were a mutant in the Marvel universe, Magneto's not wrong. And then all of a sudden Apocalypse comes out and he's just a lot more extreme with his views. I would just be like, well, how bad have I been treated? If it's really bad, sign me up then. I'm a horseman. So
Yeah. Because his heralds usually end up leaving or being dispersed. They don't stick with him the whole time.
No.
I don't even think he has a herald anymore.
No, like for a while he was like the life bringer. He didn't stop devouring.
Yeah. He reversed that.
Well, and they always like try to fight him and stuff, but you're going out into distant galaxies. You're finding worlds, and you're pointing him at them.
Well, you're super unpopular.
Yeah, you're not winning any popularity.
You are not. People do not think you're cool.
Your race is getting eradicated.
But singular power level though. You got what, the power of cosmic? Like that's a lot. So, but what are you doing with that aside for fighting? You're essentially the Uber Eats driver for Galactus. That's what you're doing. You're going and finding him food. So
this way.
I'm still going with the herald.
That's fair. That's fine. What are you going with?
I'm going with that only because they share the workload, and it's
you're
and
going
the
with
responsibility.
The horseman?
Okay.
Oh,
did you say herald?
I said
No, I'm a
herald.
horseman.
Yeah.
One of Force Horseman. Horseman. That's where I'm going. I said Horman.
You just said Horman. I was gonna let it go.
It doesn't make any sense. It's okay. I'm gonna point it out. How about did you say, Captain Mal? What you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do?
be a horseman.
Okay.
I don't know what a horseman
Not a
is.
horseman,
Which
but a horseman.
one would you be?
If I got to pick? Archangel. I want to fly.
War.
He's a cool one.
I'm going to be
Come on.
war.
War.
They're always four things, right?
death,
War, pestilence,
yeah.
death, and war.
Right.
Wait, war, pestilence, death,
There's one other one.
and something else.
What's the war, pestilence, death?
And
Yeah.
Keep
it's
thinking.
Right. It's
tell
there.
us, what is it?
It's
What
like-
is it, Captain Mal?
Hang
One
on.
of those things where you have to be hypnotized to remember.
Yes.
'Cause it's there, but you just can't
It's
pull
there. We just don't know. Google knows, though.
Google does know, and Google will tell you here.
They're going
in
to tell
a
us who are
second.
the four
Names of the four horsemen.
horsemen. The roles
And
they fill.
Archangel
The
was
roles.
death.
He
Right?
was death, yeah.
Yes.
Archangel was death.
Wolverine was
Wolverine's
war
been-
one time. Yeah.
Wolverine's been-
Man, he
was
looked
war.
badass, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, we got war, famine,
Famine.
plague.
Plague.
Our horse to war, famine, plague, and damn it, what was the other one?
Yeah, we still don't know.
Still don't know. We'll get there though.
Yeah.
Horseman of the Apocalypse. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
boy.
out. But we're all agreeing on
That's-
war, probably, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with war.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I mean,
it's an
death-
activity.
Death's a
Here we
little
go.
more extreme.
Death,
than war.
famine, war, pestilence.
Okay.
Death, famine, war, pestilence.
War's the way to go.
Okay.
What death though, man? Like that's
What?
pretty cool.
It's cool.
I like war.
It's also a big. It's a more of a bummer. Because war, you can be warring. War doesn't necessarily mean it's kind of bad, but it's not as bad as death. Know what I'm saying?
Death is a byproduct of war. Death
Yes.
is just death.
Pestilence is just sickness.
But also,
and famine is making people
Okay,
starve.
but
Those
also-
are not cool.
Yeah.
but also, like war, you need obviously it's war. Death is like fair and it's even and it's unbiased and it's something that has to happen for everything. Like to me, that's like the least evil. Like that is just something that has to be.
War. Good God, y'all.
That is the best argument to my point ever. I'm going death. Fuck. I'm changing it up. I'm gonna go
you're
four
going
horsemen,
hardcore.
and I'm going death.
Hardcore.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. All right, is that the last one?
That's it. That's number 5.
Nice.
Nothing else.
Those are good ones.
Good.
All right.
It.
As I've said before, I don't envy you having to come up with that every freaking time. It's pretty rough. Weapon 2, num num. We got some stuff to talk about.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so this was episode 26, B Banner. Thank you very much for coming on. Have you had a good time?
Yes. Cheers.
You are cheers to you, sir. You are.
He's out.
He's out.
That's okay. That's okay.
Obviously, you are welcome to come back anytime. Anytime you have a countdown you think would be fun, let us know. We'll fit you in our busy schedule. It's not that busy. But Weapon 2, we got some stuff going on. What do we got going on?
Well, we're always building our subscribership on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, long story short, you want to make the world a better place, make people happy, bring enjoyment to everybody's lives. And I can't tell you every way to do that, but I can tell you one way. And that way is to share the world's greatest news and reviews with everybdy. We need you to go on YouTube and subscribe, folks. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it doesn't hurt you anything. You get all kinds of good content and fun. You get to watch some fun videos. And comment with your name, because what we're going to do, this is the exciting part, folks, is that every 100 subscriber mark, we give away a box. This isn't just a box. It's just not a cardboard box. That's part of it.
Yeah, why would we just send you an empty box?
That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, that's not going to get anybody excited. But what's inside the box is exciting. What it's going to be is the world's greatest news and reviews logo t-shirt. We've got a new logo coming out. It's going to be awesome. And
so you'll have 3 to choose from?
Yes, we have 3 to choose from. We're going to have a drawing done by me, original drawing for you of any character you like. We're going to put in some comic books, a Funko Pop from Funko and Everett. And that will, spoiler alert, when you tell us what character you like, it'll probably have something to do with that.
It'll be tailored to you specifically.
Yeah. So.
Disney don't do that.
No. In fact, who else gives you free stuff?
Yeah.
Just for doing... just subscribing to our channel. It's just, it's all, that's reward enough in addition to this box.
It's just a little icing on the cake. That's all this is.
And share our most recent podcast with people. Tell everybody about it. We want you to interact with all of our stuff. Like things, comment on things. We got our Facebook page. People get on there and we talk about stuff and little memes and things and trailers and all kinds of new stuff we post there.
Try to get good conversations going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a superhero fan, I dare you just to watch one episode on a long trip, whatever, in the car, and not laugh or be like, oh yeah, or be like, no, I don't agree, and try to restrain yourself from doing that. You can't. So subscribe, especially if you have a long trip. It's a perfect thing to listen to keep you company.
And whatever your response is, if you think we're wrong, tell us we're wrong.
Yeah.
We will engage you in the conversation. Like, we won't be an argument or anything, but we value the conversation. As nerds ourselves, we love the dialogue. We love all of that. Yeah. So whatever emotion we make you feel, let us know.
Yeah, because I'm not an expert of anything. Yeah. I say plenty of things that are wrong. Yeah. You can tell me I'm wrong, and that's great. Anything else?
Like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah. Check it out. We do have a Patreon if you're interested. You could check that out. You get some perks that only Patreon members get. We do have the Instagrams, we have the Facebooks, and the YouTubes, and like B-Banner.
And our website, theworldsgreatest.net.
And
theworldsgreatest.net.
You can find everything, including links to TeePublic, where you can get some T-shirts and merch featuring Weapon 2's art. Not just our TWG logo, but other original stuff that he draws.
Yeah, search Stolen Cheese, all one word. Stolen Cheese, all one word.
And you can find all of our stuff there. And as we said, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do all of that. However you want to support us, we appreciate you. But all right, closing thoughts, Weapon 2?
I'm just happy to be here, everybody. We all did a great job.
I think we did do a great job.
Yes.
B-Banner, your second appearance.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I hope you many more. Now that we're doing 2 a month and we're having guests again, like I said, welcome back anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. So, to all of you, thank you for joining us on this episode of the World's Greatest News and Reviews. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Peace.